What the fuck is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are doing another motherfucking podcast. Hopefully that doesn't. You know what? I just gotta stay away from the table. That's the key. This shit. I gotta get an actual tripod because the way I've been setting this shit up is just not it. Fucking. I don't even know what time it is. It's like 7 o'clock. TV doesn't say nothing. I got no fucking work this week, obviously, so what the fuck am I gonna do besides podcast? That's fucking all we got going on for ourselves. Nah, it's really all I got though, because I like doing the podcast and like I got some hobbies I'm trying to get into, like growing mushrooms and archery. I want to do that shit by next summer. That's my goal, is to get a bow and arrow practice and then start growing some mushrooms and next spring, early summer. I think that would be pretty badass. I might do a pod with Blair later, depending on what the fuck he wants to do. I don't know. Motherfucker. Blair, if you're fucking watching this, let's do a goddamn podcast, boy. Nah, his ass is usually busy or something. I think he only gets like one day off, so it's like, do I really want to go and yap with Cody's dumb ass, or do I want to get some shit done that day? It's kind of a hard choice. I mean, not for me. I wouldn't choose to fucking come and yap with my ass, but bro, I feel like I haven't slept in like 2 weeks. My brain just doesn't shut off. It's so fucked up. Like I hit the bed. I think that's one of the main reasons I drink so damn much is because I fucking I fucking go to sleep and I'm waking up at like 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm always tired now. That's why fucking coffee's my best friend, because I'm always fucking tired. What Polar G says, I've been too busy chasing my dreams, I'm never sleeping. That's what I feel, motherfucker. Sometimes I'll dream and it'll be in the form of like thought. Like most people dream in pictures. You know, we see things, right? And like we're living in like an alternate reality, basically. I have a lot of dreams like that, but I also have dreams like where it's just thought, dude. Like I'm thinking all night long about fucking just random shit. Like the other night, I thought about my nephew and my nieces all night long. I was just thinking. I don't know why, dude. My brain just doesn't shut off. And I don't want to use external things like medication or anything like that to help me sleep because I'm trying to figure this shit out for myself. And sure, there's supplements and things that can help, but maybe that's what I should look into. Andrew Huberman's got a supplement line. I think tyrosine or one of them's good for sleep. I'm not entirely sure. Should have set up over there. That way I can Google things if I want to Google things, but I guess we're just raw dogging the fuck out of this, dog. There's no Googling. We're just fucking talking. Um, I fucked up 3 podcasts now with this mic. 2 of them I was trying to drive. First one I thought I was just too loud, which I probably was. But the second one I was driving, I realized that the microphone fucks up from all the wind, even if the windows are rolled up in the vehicle. So I did a couple podcasts where I was driving, but it didn't work out because you get done and then you fucking start listening. It's like, that's what it fucking sounds like, dude. And I have 3 of them now. And I think one was yesterday. Was one yesterday? No, it was the day before yesterday, Saturday. I tried to do another one. I can really set up and do these whenever. That's kind of why I got this thing, because now I can just set up the phone. I got a nice microphone working with me, and it's all working out nicely. I've been on a researching journey already this morning. I had figured out that our IQs are going down, and the article I had read said, because I was like, my dad and I and Chance and I talk about this a lot, like common sense, and my brother-in-law as well, common sense just doesn't exist anymore. Things that everybody's supposed to know, like how to change a tire, how to do this, how to do that. It's just things that we are oblivious to now. Like things that an 8-year-old knew 100 years ago, we don't have any fucking idea how to do it. And it's kind of fucked up. And so I Google, are people getting dumber? Because I've been talking about it. I've been thinking about it for a while. Turns out we are. And a lot of scientists think it's because of our environment. But the article said, and I quote, it's due to environment, most likely not due to genes being worse off than they used to be. And then it goes to say that nobody knows why our environment changed so much to make us dumber. Hmm. Hmm. What's happened in the last 100 fucking years, dude? Let's see. We got social media. We got the internet. We got TikTok. We got all this bullshit. All this distraction everywhere. No wonder we're fucking stupid. We're not learning. We're not learning anything. This is my fucking whole point, man. We go to school, and once we're finished school, college, high school and college, we think we're some hot fucking dog. Like, oh, I'm educated now. That's not how it fucking works, dude. You have to educate yourself throughout life. That's why I didn't go to college, dude. So I thought that I'd be losing more going to college than just fucking doing this shit myself. I have the internet. I have books. I have all this shit that I can educate myself with. That's why I didn't go to college, because I don't need to. I know I can educate myself. For the average person, maybe they have to go. You don't have especially if you want to be a doctor or a lawyer or anything, then you have to have this path laid out and you have to follow these certain steps. That's not my fucking cup of tea, dude. I don't follow steps. I just figure shit out as I go. It's fun to me. And that's kind of what I was talking about the other day. And I talked to my dad about it yesterday. I want this channel to be the intellectual's black hole, to where an intellectual, somebody who is fascinated in all subjects or in a bunch of different subjects and have education on a bunch of different subjects. I want people to gravitate here to get like an intellectual's knowledge. You know what I'm saying? We'll teach you how to cook. We'll teach you how to talk. We'll teach you how to fucking play basketball. We'll teach you how to just live in life, dude. That's all I'm trying to do is like, hey, this shit's working for me. I don't know if it's going to work for anybody else, but I don't want to be stuck in some certain box to where I have to do certain things and be a certain way of being and act a certain way. Like, I'll be respectful and I'll love people, but I don't want to act a certain way to where I can't. I have to suppress aspects of myself because I can't fucking be me. I did that shit my entire life. In high school, bro, everybody thought I was retarded, and I liked it. I liked having that. I'm not even fucking joking. Everybody thought I was dumb as fuck. It's because I did dumb as fuck shit, and I acted dumb as fuck. But in the reality, dude, I was smarter than most motherfuckers. And I'm not like tooting my own horn or nothing, but I just realized over time, like, oh, these people don't think about the things I think about. They're not looking for information. They're not questioning things. They're just following the line. And so to act and fit in, I have to act dumb as shit and make people laugh. And that's what I did. And that's why I got good at it, dude. I also I'll read this in a second, but I just got done watching a video of this dude building an engine, which was pretty badass. I've never watched an engine build before. I've always I'm fascinated in like the mechanics and electronics of things, but like cars itself, fucking houses itself, I'm not really fascinated with the finished product. I'm fascinated with like how it was put together and how it was done. But 5/20/19, 2 years before I graduated, we've got my autobiography here. And just a forewarning, I didn't know how to write, dude. A lot of this shit's dumb, and I might stutter over it because I'm gonna have to fucking fix it. But we're gonna read this whole thing. Bear with me here. I don't remember my birth because, well, I don't remember anything till I was about 8. But what I know is I was born on August 2nd, 2003, and my birth certificate was signed by Candy Prescott and my dad, Roman Kiss. I was born and raised in Mason City, Iowa, and I don't like this city. It's not a good environment for children. My parents told me I got my name from a cousin that died in the womb because his umbilical cord got wrapped around his neck, so they gave me the name. I remember some of preschool. I learned how to tie my shoe. I remember they gave us a shoe and told us to tie it. I had no idea how. I also remember meeting Romeo in preschool, but the only memory I have of him in preschool was him banging his head on the wall as hard as he could every day. I don't know if we were friends or not, but I think we were because we were both weird. That's why we're friends now. I was a very hyper kid in preschool and didn't know why till kindergarten, but I never took a nap in preschool. The teachers would sing me songs, read me books, play the radio for me, and all I would do is run around, waking everyone up during nap time. During recess, I would grab the little tricycle and ride it around the track because I was a NASCAR driver back then. My favorite thing at breakfast was oatmeal with brown sugar. At lunch, the only thing I remember eating was kiwi and Skittles off the floor, which I would still do. Come on, they're Skittles. Like, come on now. Fucking credit acceptance, dude. My car company calls me like every day. They're annoying. Anyway, when I got on when I got done with preschool and finally got to kindergarten, I was diagnosed with ADHD, and the stupid eye doctor place gave me glasses saying I needed them, but back then I still had 20/20 vision. This is all true, by the way. I left a lot of it out though, because I left a lot of trauma out and shit because I wasn't ready to talk about all that in sophomore year of high school. But this is like the overall view of how the fuck I grew up, dude. I was one of the weird kindergartners eating glue and Play-Doh. I liked the salty taste of Play-Doh. I was still very hyper in kindergarten, but they hadn't medicated me yet. Maybe they thought it would calm down over the years, which it didn't. But in kindergarten, Miss Myers was my teacher, and I made her life hell. I would never sit still, and I would yell at other kids. Kindergarten was when I said my first swear word. It just so happened to be the B word. But I had a good reason. I was building a Lego tower, all content and happy, minding my own business, and up comes some kid, and he starts stealing my Legos. So I yelled. See, I didn't know how to write. So I yelled, "You bitch!" And he had the nerve to tell on me after I was just robbed. So Miss Myers brought me over to talk to her, and she was like, "What did you say?" I'm like, "I said the B word." She's like, "What did you say?" It's like, "I said the B word." She's like, "What does it mean?" And I said, "Well, it means bitch." She wrote on a little fish sticky note what I had done, and she gave it to me and told me to give it to my parents back. Then I couldn't even read, so I didn't know how I knew it was a bad note, but it was it. And when Miss Myers turned around, I tossed in the trash and went on with my day. I remember hanging out with my cousin Braden. We were the same age, so we were like best friends. The only cousin I liked. Bruh, I've always questioned motherfuckers, and I've always just done my own thing. This is what I'm saying. Andrew and I, my brother, put a toy horse on top of my mom's car, and we were laughing and giggling while she was driving because we were holding on to the horse. Then it flew off, and we never seen the horse again. It had disappeared. Maybe it teleported to an unknown universe that is only accessible by flying off the top of Dodge Durango at 35 miles per hour. But who knows? It's also a great possibility that the garbage men picked it up off the street and tossed in the trash, and maybe someday when somebody goes to dig up the landfill for some odd reason, they're going to find a stuffed horse and be like, well, would you look at that? I had a very interesting early years. I was, and still am, a weird child. But you know what? It's the way she goes. Look, that's me. I was a cute ass baby. I don't know what happened. Nah, but I forgot to say my stomach's been fucked up, dude. All day yesterday, I was doubled over in pain. I think I got food poisoning or something because I was fucked up. I was gonna record a pod yesterday, but I just couldn't muster up the fucking strength, dude. My fucking body was dying. And I still feel kind of fucked up, but here we are. All right, elementary. First grade through fourth grade was a rough time for me. I was still being a very bad boy. It all started in first grade. And I only remember a little bit of first and second grade, so bear with me. So I remember in first grade at lunch, I would run and jump on the tables, kicking people's trays off their tables, and I peed on the floor in the bathroom next to the urinal. Not all of it was bad, though. First grade, I learned my favorite subject in school, which is math. I was so good at math, I got numbers instantly. I met Dylan Bachman in first grade. We're still friends now. We were both weird, so we just clicked. Second grade, I still loved math. It was a good time, but my behavior got worse. I was in the principal's office every single day for different reasons. There was one day we had a sub, a sweet old lady, and I was jumping desk to desk while she was trying to read us a story. I remember that day like it was yesterday, man. It was awesome. It was awesome. I feel bad for the old lady, but it was a fun time. It was, listen, I bet I had the most fun in school out of fucking everybody because I just didn't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck, you do what you want. And I had a great ass time. But anyway, where was I? Another day, I met Thomas and Gabe. They were twins, and I thought that was nifty. I could never tell them apart, even after I knew them for a whole year. I'd run around the school because it was a giant circle, and I would have teachers chasing me all of the time. I was really naughty. Then the last straw was I found a ball of yarn and wrapped it around all the desks and chairs in the classroom. It was like lasers were everywhere. That was the day I found out I was being expelled because they had no detention teacher that could deal with me there. So I went to Hoover. At Hoover, every class was behind me with schoolwork because Roosevelt was so far ahead. So for most of the time, I just sat around. I had a rough time in Hoover at first because I didn't know anyone. I would just sit by myself, thinking about how lonely I was. I would even cry at recess because I didn't know anyone and had no one to play with. That was probably the first depression I ever experienced. I didn't know it was depression at the time, but I was sad as fuck, dude. All right. I didn't realize how long this was. Third grade was better because I met someone named Jake. He was a good guy, weirder than me, which kind of scared me, but I was lonely, so I was like, fuck it, I'll be his friend. There's a teacher called Miss Veltoff, and she was mean because she was huge, and she would sit on kids because she was too big to restrain us. That was a rough time. I also had to ride short bus and go to Four Oaks because I got expelled. I was in Four Oaks for 3 to 4 years, and after that, I had a para following me around until the end of fifth grade. It sucked. Bro, they used to restrain the shit out of you there, too. They used to grab you and fucking choke the shit out of you, basically. Four Oaks fucking sucked. I don't think I'm going to read all this, to be honest. You guys get the point. Yeah, that's boring shit. I don't want to read it. But I think that I'm going to try to get better at writing, to be honest. I want to write books. I don't know what kind. Like, I started this book. I haven't gotten into it, really. Just because I don't know what I want to write about yet. I just wanted to see if I could do it, and I can, clearly. So what the fuck do I write about now? I need more life experience and knowledge to figure out how to make a unique book that is unique to my personality and my way of being. And I'm sorry if that was loud. Oh my god, my stomach's fucked up, dog. I'm probably gonna shower after this fucking. Maybe take a shit if I can. Oh fucking. I'm drinking my coffee now, but I just wish I could sleep. I think I'm gonna have to. You know what we're gonna do? Let's take this elsewhere. We're gonna take this elsewhere. Come over here. Turn Chance's pooty on. There. That works. Sign into this bitch. Open up Chrome. And then called Momentous Supplement. And then Huberman. Because Huberman set up his own. He set up his own. Basically his own. Oh, I know what it is. Live Momentous. It's Live Momentous. And then Huberman. The website's livemomentous.com. A bunch of supplements and shit. Does it exist? Where is it? What if I just search Live Momentous? It's not popping up for some reason. Here it is. And then you go to Huberman still have a thing in here? Learn, shop. Let's search Huberman. Huberman collection. LiveMomentous.com, Huberman collection. All right. He's got a bunch of shit in here. Sleep stack, focus and cognition stack, collagen peptides for joint health, bone health, creatine and collagen. He's got all these different supplements essentially. And I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have to fucking get one of these for sleep. See if I can sleep better. Because I've been trying to get my sleep. I've been trying to get my sleep in order, dude. And I can't do it. Not by myself. I need some kind of supplement that helps me sleep better at night. And I don't want to take like melatonin or nothing like that. I'm not trying to do that. Let's see. Oh shit. I might fall. All right, hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Boom. Just give me like 2 seconds. There. Is that better? That's better. Oh, I think I gotta take a shit, to be honest. I'm not lying. My stomach has been fucked up, dude. I ain't even capping. Bro, normally I'm good with pain. Like, to me, pain is nothing. Pain is, I don't know. I've always been weird with pain. Like, maybe I'm a little bit psychotic, but like, when I was a kid, if my like teeth or gums hurt, I just clench them together really hard and make it hurt a lot more than it did. And then when I was done clenching my shit together, it wouldn't hurt as much. Like I would just force the pain on myself. And I used to hang out with a lot of people like that would beat on me and shit, like friends, but the motherfuckers would like wail on me and hit me and shit like that. I I think that was my path to coolness. I had to hang out with all these fucking misfits that they didn't respect me really. Jackson does. Jackson Bailey, he's a good guy. But like there was a guy named Spencer, he didn't really respect me. We were homies for a long time though. But this guy was a wild card. Like I grew up, I may have had, I don't know if I had the most fun in school, but I there was definitely more wild cards than me. Like there was a guy named, actually he's trying to rap now, Young Shaggy. If you look into that motherfucker, his shit's not bad. It's all right, but um, the motherfucker stole a golf cart one time when we were in school. We were just chilling in lunch, and then the motherfucker, you see him fucking flying by on a golf cart and shit. That motherfucker was nuts. And there was a lot of people like that in my school who just fucking didn't give a fuck, and we just did what we wanted to do rather than what everybody else was trying to make us do. And I kind of respect that. And actually, now that I think about it, the majority of people like that are fucking trying to do other shit now. Like they've realized, oh, this shit isn't gonna fucking get me to where I want in life. You know what I'm saying? Like just going like that's the point I try to make all the time. It's like we have these 5 things that we're supposed to do. We're supposed to graduate high school, go to college, get a good job, get a family, and get a house. That's what we're supposed to do in life. That's not life. That's 5 things in life. The majority of our life is spent just doing this shit, doing absolutely nothing. That's why your habits are so important because the majority of your life consists of nothing. It's the day and day bullshit that nobody wants to do, like folding laundry, doing dishes, cleaning up your room, doing all the shit nobody wants to fucking do, but we have to. And that's where discipline comes in. You have to discipline yourself and you have to put this down actually. Hopefully I'm not too loud. I feel like I'm not too loud, but what do I know about being loud? That's why you have to work on your discipline though, because I used to be undisciplined as fuck. I had zero discipline in my body. Zero. It's like my spiritual bones. I'm pretty spiritual now, but back in the day I had no spiritual bones in my body. Same with discipline. I was not disciplined at all, and sometimes it still wavers. I won't lie. Sometimes I get lazy as shit. Sometimes I don't want to do stuff, but it's weird. It's like I was saying the other day. My brain doesn't have that lazy circuit. So if I know I'm physical clutter automatically turns the mental clutter in my brain. Like if there's dishes in the sink, which there is now, there's fucking trash over here that we got to take to the trash thing. I could probably clean up my room a little bit. There's a lot of things that I'm gonna probably do after this fucking podcast and after I take a shit because it's bothering me. It just bothers me. Knowing it's there, knowing it's not done, it's like I know I'm lazy. I'm being lazy right now. And that shit fucks with me so bad. I don't like that shit. That's why I Googled if people were getting dumber, because that's what I feel, dude. We're dumb as shit now. We're dumb as fuck. And that's like putting it respectfully. Like I love everybody and I'm pretty tolerable of people now, but I used to just not talk to anybody because I'm like, what is wrong with my generation? What the fuck happened? I like talking to older guys, like talking to my dad and talking to old people at work. I like experience and knowledge because listen, my grandparents, dude, 70 years old, okay? 70 years of experience on planet Earth. I'm 21, and it's felt like I've been here a long ass time. So 70 years? I wish I could just download that in my head and see what the fuck that looks like. Because until you've done it, you don't know. And you learn so many things in that 70 years. My grandparents are so smart, dude. My grandma loves to clean and cook, and my grandpa's a fucking handyman. That dude's always doing something. But I love him to death. And those older generations, they know so much more than we do. And that what's ironic about that is we have a supercomputer in our pocket. That's what's always bothered me. That's why I get so upset when other people aren't very educated, especially at my age, because we know how to use this motherfucker the best. And we're not utilizing this supercomputer to educate ourselves properly. We're just allowing everybody else to educate us. And if we have a problem, we'd rather talk to other people and put it on other people, like, how do I solve this, rather than just Google it or figure it out for yourself. Like, that's where a lot of my experience comes from, is just testing shit by myself. I don't sit around and wait for motherfuckers to tell me what to do. I fucking do shit, and I fuck with shit until I figure out how to do it. And like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like our generation is not reaching their full potential. We have the ability to be the most educated generation of them all. We have these supercomputers, and if we teach ourselves discipline and hard work and mental endurance, we would be unstoppable. How the fuck do you not realize that? It's our own mind that's keeping us from these things, keeping us from wealth, keeping us from physical health, keeping us from mental health. It's our own brain, dude. And we don't control this motherfucker. Because if you think about it like this, our brain, okay, it's probably been around 200,000 to 2 million years, okay? Our body's been around for millions, millions. Let's see if I can Google that. How long did we have our bodies before our brains? According to current scientific understanding, humans had their bodies, meaning a recognizable bipedal form, for millions of years before their brains significantly expanded, with the most dramatic brain growth occurring roughly within the last 3 million years, starting around the time of early Homo species, while the basic human body structure developed much earlier in our evolutionary lineage. So, my point about this is golden retriever or a pit bull or a German shepherd, all these dogs have these certain genetic programmings, right? Like a retriever just knows how to retrieve, right? German shepherd just protects its family. These things are genetic, they're in their bodies. But before their knowledge is even there, they have these instincts. We have the same thing, except we've completely denied them and completely. We look at our body as this thing that we have to just fix. Like if something's wrong, we just put stuff in there and fix it rather than the body fixing itself. The body has intelligence beyond our imagining, and we don't realize that. Like we just think, oh, the body's the body. No, the body has so much intelligence through epigenetics and all these things. Evolution. It's like my main point is that the brain's the same way. That's why it's the mind, body, spirit. They're all separate, but they're all one thing. Like, yeah, I have a mind, I have a body, and then my soul's inside of this. Or maybe it's outside. It's like a receiver. But where did that thought go? It's one unit. It's still one unit. And I think, bro, for the longest time when I started doing mushrooms, I would sit on the toilet for like 30 minutes to 45 minutes, an hour, just fucking laughing about how we're monkeys. Because like I've looked into evolution my entire life, but like until you sit there and fully realize that, hey, we're still fucking animals. That's why we pick our nose and pick our ass and we shit and piss in trash cans or do weird shit. It's like we're still animals, and if we don't facilitate a mind that's able to handle these animalistic instincts, and these primal urges that we have, then it's not going to go well. Like men, especially. We're violent, we're over sexual, we're weird as fuck if we don't tune our shit down and fucking hone it in. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of people are fucked up now. Women are fucked up and men are fucked up. Just we've got so many mental issues that we don't know how to deal with. And that's why I've spent so much time educating myself. It's because I'm like, I gotta figure this out. There's no way I could just sit in this fucking state forever. And I don't understand how people do that. Like, I understand bad things happen, right? You have a shitty breakup. You fucking fight with your parents. One of your parents leaves and you don't get to fucking see him anymore. There's plenty of bad shit that you can sit here and fucking focus on and dwell on for the rest of your life. But there's also so many positive things. So many things that so many things that we shouldn't take for granted and we should appreciate and have gratitude for. But we don't. That's why I like to think about normal things like this computer in front of me, dude. It's just a computer to most people, but to me, this is a box of fucking electric wires and parts, and somehow we put all these wires and circuit boards and all this shit together to give me this, the internet. Somehow I can open this and I can Google things and I can fucking figure out any answer I want. Matter of factly, look at this shit. Wolves and whales, common ancestor. Wolves and whales are more fucking related to each other than we are to wolves, dude. Because whales came up on shore at one point. Look at this shit. Whales used to look like fucking rat dogs or whatever. And then they went to this, and slowly they started going back into water, webbed feet, and then they fucking started to develop into what we have today. It's insane. Here's a skeletal picture, actually. Look at this skeletal picture, okay? See, the bones just moved down, and eventually they just formed into something like this. It's insane. Evolution is my favorite fucking topic, dude. It's fascinating. The fact that we somehow we were we were fucking we were fucking rats at one point. Rats turned to monkeys, then monkeys turned to humans. Let's look at that. Simon, how did we go from mice to monkeys to human? Let's see if I can get an AI answer. Beautiful. Humans, mice, and monkeys are all part of the tree of life, which is shaped by evolution. Humans and monkeys share a common ancestor. Humans and monkeys share a common ancestor that lived about 25 million years ago. Humans and chimpanzees share a more recent common ancestor that lived between 8 and 6 million years ago. Humans and mice share a common ancestor. Is this going to tell me what I want to know? I don't think so. Let's look up mice, human common ancestor. See what our most common ancestor with a mouse is. Humans and mice share a common ancestor that lived about 90 million years ago. The ancestor was a small rodent-like mammal that lived alongside dinosaurs. Humans and mice share about 90% of their DNA. However, the mouse lineages evolved differently from the human lineage, with twice as many substitutions in the mouse genome. The mouse has also evolved to produce large numbers of offspring and to have efficient strategies for feeding and hiding. That's what's kind of nuts about our genome, is that technically when humans are born, we're born premature. Even when we're that 9 months, 10 months in the womb, we're basically born premature because the size of our bodies and our brains, for a mammal, it should take about 2 years for us to fully develop and fully. That's basically how long we're supposed to spend in the womb, like an elephant. Elephants spend 2 years in the womb. And technically, we're supposed to do the same thing, but the evolution is so amazing because it realized, Mother Nature or God or whatever you want to fucking call it, realized that the only way that our human heads fit through the birth canal is to keep it as small as it is already, because that's the biggest it can get without tearing a hole in the mother. So the baby comes out, and for 2 years it has to be taken care of and fed, and it's basically useless, which If you look at other animals, if you look at other animals like giraffes or elephants or deer, really anything besides humans, they're already up and moving. Well, maybe the exception is birds and like small mammals, like mice and shit. They're kind of tiny, so they got to sit for a while, but they don't take as long as we take. They take a few months, like puppies. Let's look at puppies. How long does it take for a puppy to be able to be by itself? I think it's a few weeks actually, like 6 weeks. 3 months old. A puppy generally shouldn't be left alone for extended periods until they are at least 3 months old. Most experts recommend gradually increasing the time they spend alone as they mature, with puppies under 6 months ideally not left alone for more than 2 to 3 hours at a time due to their limited bladder control and potential for separation anxiety. What else do we got in here? Nah, that's about it. But that's my point, is that 6 months. 6 months is when a puppy can be left alone. You leave a fucking 6 month old baby human alone, that motherfucker's dead. He's gonna be fucking freaking out and won't know what to do, dude. My nephew's almost 2 years old, actually. I just thought about that. That's pretty fascinating shit. The reason I don't post, like, I have a lot of videos and clips and shit of them, but I'm not posting them. I'm not, like, even, I was even a little bit hesitant to show that picture because I don't want to show them. I don't want to show my nieces and nephews on here because if this thing happens to take off and they, like, the name becomes known, I don't want them to become known also because they didn't ask for that. They're too young to know what that is. Like, if you look at a lot of child stars and celebrities and shit, they end up fucked up because they develop fucked up. One of the main things, dude, is like when a child star starts paying for their parents' bills, how the fuck are you supposed to tell a kid what to do if they're paying the bills for the house? There's no way. The kid's not gonna fucking listen. And they get fucked up. Like a lot of child stars, they do not make it out unscathed. Miley Cyrus, Demi Lovato, a lot of them, dude. I've listened to them on podcasts before. They don't end up well. That's why I don't want to do that to my nieces and nephews. They're already fucking crazy. Kids are nuts, dude. I've learned a lot about children. And I'm trying to, like, in my own, like, the reason I teach myself so much is for when I have kids one day and I know they're gonna need the same help that I needed, but I don't want to medicate them or throw things at them or yell at them, or I don't want to be a fucking piece of shit dad. And I'm not saying I had a piece of shit dad. My dad was amazing, but like I don't wanna yell at my kids. I don't wanna hit them. I don't think any of that's necessary. That's why you have to spend the first 2 years with them. Not 2 years, but the first like 10, I think. Not consistently. Like you don't gotta spend every minute, every waking minute with them, but I think that's the most crucial time. You have to spend a lot of time with them because you're literally developing a nervous system. The nervous system is wiring itself by example, by watching you and how you live and how you react to things and how you set your boundaries. So if you don't set these boundaries and set this kid up from the young ages to like young preteen ages, then after that, it's pretty much a free for all. They're gonna fucking figure out that they don't have to listen to people. They're gonna figure out how easy it is to skip school and leave the house when nobody's paying attention. Like they're going to do all kinds of wild shit just to test their boundaries. Kids do that all the time. And I found out that people do it in a relationship too. I didn't know that, but Jordan Peterson was talking about how people test each other. Like a woman will test a man's ability to hold his shit together, like test his anger and test his stress levels by like poking and prodding at him. Like basically, it's like unintentionally, intentionally upsetting somebody. You're not trying to upset this person, but you're just testing to see where their boundaries are with anger and stuff. Because you think about it, historically and evolutionarily, if a woman has a baby with an aggressive man and his anger's out of check and out of control, he might just kill the kid. He might just fucking kill her. He might do all kinds of crazy shit. Men are fucking insane. And that doesn't leave women to like, oh, they're perfect. No, we all got our issues, but men historically and evolutionarily, we're just violent and gross creatures sometimes. It's kind of fucked up. Give me a moment of silence. I want to think for a second. Just want to sip my coffee and think for a second. Sometimes it's good to just be quiet. Just look through your thoughts for a second. We don't do that very much either as a generation. I think that's what's really wrong with us is we don't spend much time with ourselves. We're always distracted by the computer, by the phone, by the TV, by this, by that. There's so many things that distract us. It's false senses of responsibility. That's what it is. That's why I feel like I have a lot to do. In reality, I don't have much to do because I got to check Snapchat. I got to check this. I got to do that. I got to do this. I got to post this. I got to do. You don't got to do any of that. We just think we do. And I think that's the false sense of responsibility. We think that we have more to do than we really do. And in reality, a lot of it's just a distraction. A lot of it's just here to keep us from our path. It's kind of I've been looking at things in like a Bible form a lot lately because I like to look at things through that lens sometimes. And like that's what I think I've talked about this, but that's what temptation is temptation is all these distractions, all these things that'll pull us away from what we're supposed to be doing, you know what I'm saying? And then you have a sin, which is a failure. You failed. You were tempted and you fucking failed, and that's what a sin is. And I think that's why they were named these things. I think we get caught up on the words and the religions themselves rather than just trying to look at what aspect they can play in our life. And if you look at it through that lens, a sin is a failure. And if you fail, you're going to feel like shit and you're going to feel like a real piece of shit because you failed. But just because you sin doesn't mean God gives up hope on you and gives you up as its child, whatever God is, you know what I'm saying? But um I think that's what it is. That's why God forgives sin because we're born with original sin. I learned that from Dykstra. Like in the Bible, we have original sin. Since Adam and Eve ate that apple, everybody's born sinful, which, whether that be true or not, we are born to fail. Like, not necessarily to be failures, but humans fail a lot. It's the way we learn and it's the way we grow as people, unfortunately. Like, I've watched that with my nieces. You can sit there and tell them things to do, things not to do all goddamn day long. And guess what? They're still not going to fucking listen to you. They're going to listen maybe and pretend and ask questions, but then they're going to do their own thing. It's because their nervous system and their prefrontal cortex isn't developed enough to even fucking care what you have to say yet. Their decision making is pretty bad. And that's kind of the shittiest design of evolution. Our bodies are designed great, but then there's things left over like the appendix and the tailbone and all these things that aren't really supposed or they're not used. They're like our pinky toes, for example. Our feet used to be like hands. And if you look at like Amazonian tribes and shit, their feet are still like this. Like monkeys. Monkeys have feet for or hands for feet, and that's kind of what we had. That's why our pinky toes so goddamn useless now, except for banging on tables and shit, because it, it's disappearing. We're probably gonna have four toes if we keep going in this direction. Because what do we need? What do we need that fifth one for? But hunter gather tribe feet. Oh yeah, we're about to look at feet. Oh man. God damn. This is what I'm talking about. They start to spread out. They don't look like our feet. The reason our feet look the way they do, they have their feet spread out so they can climb trees and they can have more balance in the forest and shit. It's better to spread out like that. But with us wearing shoes all the time, it doesn't have the time or the well, it kind of just can't do that. Over time, our feet have just slowly narrowed in. You know what I'm saying? And it's pretty fascinating because some of them develop extra toes, some of them develop weird looking feet, like this one right here. Like, what the fuck? Their feet look like they're designed to climb trees. Look at that. They got like two toes, one there and then one here. And then they got this gap in between to fucking grab onto trees and shit. How fascinating is that? Evolution is amazing, dude. The things that the things that fucking we can accomplish. Evolutionary tree. Wait, which species developed separately in evolution besides fungus? Fungus are one of the species that developed separately on the tree. Insects, bats, dolphins, sharks, cacti, hedgehogs. See what we got here. Evolutionary tree. Simple. There we go. That's pretty badass, actually. About this guy. I'm sorry, I'm looking at trees of life. Um, Tree of life. Oh, evolutionary biology. There we are. There we fucking are, ladies and gentlemen. Just give me like 2 seconds of looking at this shit. I'm trying to find a good ass picture for you. I don't want to just find some bonk ass picture. This one's pretty big. Some of them get crazy, dude. Let's click on this here. Oh, you can buy this one. It's pretty badass. Here. Down here, we start with like bacteria. Usually, all this is like bacteria and stuff. And then up here is where plants developed. It just went into this. I hope you can see that. That's the plant. And then right here is separate. It's fungi. Fungi developed separately. And then these species developed separately, as well did octopus. And then up here is where all the insects developed. And then all the way up here is where all the mammals. This is where like fish and shit are. This is like salamanders. And then up here is all the mammals. It's badass, dude. Evolution's my favorite. My favorite subject. Let's see if we can. Evolution explained. Explained fast. Oh, my stomach hurty. Alright. I don't know what I'm doing. I might just end this thing. I love you guys. Bye.